Hey guys, welcome to the Shift Training channel.
Where we talk about personal development, we talk about physical health, mental health, emotional health, and just overall well-being.
Today we'll be talking about honesty and authenticity.
All right, so let's jump into it.
So let's start with honesty. So first question is, why isn't honesty always the best policy?
Why is honesty isn't the best policy? Well, sometimes, when you are too honest, you could sometimes come across as arrogant or offensive. So let's say you're in an environment where or let's say you are someone who's overly overweight and you tell someone, oh, you're fat. Now, you don't have to be that honest. You can say things in a way that you won't offend other people. And also sometimes when you're in an environment where it's toxic, sometimes you don't have to be honest or confrontational with those people because it sometimes could cause harm and it might not be worth of your time.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. There's a time and a place. Like if you honestly feel rage towards your boss, you're not going to say, hey, boss, go off. You know what I mean? That's not a good idea. That's a clear opportunity, which we all understand. And sometimes we forget to be mindful of the people that we love in our life. Sometimes we think we're just going to say whatever we want because we assume they'll always be there in our life and it's okay to hurt them because of that. And honestly, that's not wise. So times like that, you need to be better with your word choice. Not per se be dishonest, but you also might need to sprinkle a little sugar on top. I used to not believe that at all, but I can tell you sometimes you need to sprinkle a little sugar on top.
Sweet. That's true. 100%. I agree. So the next question is, how can I trust somebody that seems to be dishonest?
Ooh, that is a great question. I think a lot of times when people say trust, it's like, how can I trust you? Trust you to do what? Like, for example, I have a close family relative. I'm not gonna say no names, but I would trust them to have my back in a physical altercation. I would trust them to support me on a day when I'm feeling down. I would not trust them to not steal something from me. In fact, I trust that they will steal something from me. And this comes to me as like calling a spade a spade. You got to identify the person as they are. See it for what it is. Can't be like, oh, well, you're in this role, so I think you should act and conduct yourself like that. No, who is that person? They're a person before they are whatever role you think they should fulfill. And this is something we should be very mindful to not forget. So you might not be able to trust somebody with how you feel. You might not be able to trust somebody to keep a secret. There are certain things you might not be able to trust that person with, but you can still trust them to be themselves. They're going to blurt it out. They're going to talk about whatever they want to talk about. You can trust them in whatever area you feel like you want to trust them, but also in areas where you know, hey, trust them to drop the ball here. That's okay.
Yeah, I agree 100%, and sometimes trust, there's a level to that, you don't just give away your trust because, you'll find yourself in a place of disappointment if you just trust everyone.
Exactly. So that leads us to our next question. How do you know when you're being too honest or not honest enough?
I believe if you are operating in a place of fear. So what I mean by fear is in a place of vindictive, condemnation, hate. If that is coming from that place, I feel I am not aligned. I'm not being honest to myself. But on the other hand, if I am operating on the place of love, which is compassion, kindness, generosity, and affection, then I know that I am being honest.
I agree. I think that when you're talking about that level of honesty, we're getting into authenticity. So I have a question for you. The question is, what does it mean to be authentic?
What does it mean to be authentic? For me is your ability to accept your insecurities, your weaknesses, also your strength, and just being yourself, being comfortable with your own skin.
Yeah, I think that generally when we talk about authenticity, we kind of tie that to some sense of like reality or truth. And I think those words are like pretty closely connected, but usually when we're talking about one or the other two are kind of somewhere in there, at least here in this country. I don't know.
Okay, so the next question is, how can I tell the difference between ego and my true self?
Okay, so I would say the difference between ego and true self, I think about it kind of like this. Very often we identify with our ego. So sometimes we'll say how we feel is this is just the way I am. This is who I am. And how you feel is not who you are. There might be, I'll put it like this. Let's go science for a second. There might be a loop, a pattern of behaviors and emotions and feelings that you experience in your life because that's the way you live. That doesn't mean that's who you are. If you train that pattern, you would become somebody else. But it plays a role in who you are and in your story. I would say the ego, which exists to help you defend yourself or keep you alive, protect you, right? A lot of that's driven by fear, safe, unsafe, nervous system, blah, blah. So that plays a huge role in that. But as far as the true self, authentic self, I think true self, authentic self, the thing that most living things do is live and die. So it's kind of expansion, it's life, it's growth, things that are moving you towards that. Imagine the you that you are carrying whatever pain and trauma and scars and wounds. And some people say, yeah, these are all mine and this is who I am. And you wear them and you carry them everywhere. And you're not doing any work to heal. You just say, that's how I am. Then imagine the you that is aware of those things, but is choosing to heal. And imagine maybe even the form of yourself that's fully healed. I would say that would be the truest of true self, the purest of true self versus ego self.
I think I have the same answer as what I said before. About the ego or the fear and the love. So if that comes from that, then you are not being true to yourself.
I agree. Yep. So with that in mind, Vaughn, how can we be more authentic?
How can I be more authentic? By doing the things that I genuinely enjoy. For example, if you love dancing or playing any sports and you just love doing it for yourself, you have this intrinsic motivation inside of you, then that's when I feel more of me instead of doing things that I hate. Like for example, maybe learning about art, that might not be me. I'm more gravitated towards dancing, so I'll go towards that. So the more I go towards the one that I have affinity with, that's when I feel more authentic.
For me, being more authentic just looks like living in line with my values and intentions. Just this is my intention. This is what I value. I'm moving towards growth, life, and love. That when that's congruent, when my words, how I'm feeling, everything I'm doing, all the elements of my life are in line with that, I feel like I'm being my truest, most authentic self.
So what is the value of authenticity?
Ooh. So the value of authenticity, there is like a long list of all the value that authenticity brings. I will start with one of the ones that I think stands out to a lot of people the most is that it's attractive to people. Being authentic requires courage, right? So we can see that on somebody. We go, ooh, that's cool. They look, like badass, or like we respect that. They're being true to themselves. We respect that. Even if we don't agree, there might even be a part of us that's a little envious, a little jealous. We wish we could be that true to our nature or ourselves, right? So one, attracts people. Two, I think living with authenticity helps you to really be connected to yourself. It's empowering. It really will help you to better believe in yourself. So when we have challenges with self-esteem, self-confidence, and things like that, I would probably say you're usually out of congruence. Somewhere there's a disconnect between where you feel like you should be or what's calling you or how you're summoned or your true self and how you actually live. So I would say those two are super huge values that I think most people think about when they think about authenticity. And again, that's attracting people, being able to just be attractive in that way. And then also, again, feeling more confident in your own skin, feeling like you got the power. It's empowering. You got the juice. You can go deliver.
Right, yeah, and it's not gonna drain you out because sometimes when you try to be someone else, it takes so much energy. And let's say you lie about yourself, then you gotta, create a story, and it will create that snowball effect where, like, at the end of the day, then you're just wasting a lot of energy, a lot of mental energy in your brain. So being authentic is empowering.
That is an excellent point, Vaughn. Energy conservation is the truth. When you're not expending energy all the time, you feel more calm, more relaxed in general. It helps to have more peace. And also with that peace, I feel at peace when I say things to people or if I talk about something. So even if I make a mistake, I know I'm still being honest to the best of my ability, true to myself, aligned with the thing so I feel authentic. And with that in mind, guys, that's a wrap. So we covered honesty and authenticity today. Vaughn, is there anything else we need to cover?
No, that's it for us. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below what you guys think. And we'll catch you on the next one.
All right, take care, guys. Peace.